For close to 100 years there's been a brass band in the West Yorkshire village of Hade. It's a tradition handed down by one generation to the next. And today, after years of sweat and slog, the band have finally made it all the way up. Now they're competing against the big boys of the championship section, the best bands in Britain, hoping for glory and playing for the love of it. Tucked away in the Pennine hills and valleys around Holmfirth, you'll find scores of villages. Hade is just one of them. But there's something a bit special happening here. Some musical magic conjured up in an old army hut, the home of the Hade Brass Band. For longer than anyone can remember, this handsome, rugged, drafty bit of Yorkshire has echoed to the sound of brass.
We have the best bands round here, in this part of Yorkshire, because it's the air we breathe that comes straight off the moors. It's a nice thought, isn't it?
Since the Great War, this scruffy old shed has seen countless players come and go. Some good, some not, but all of them proud to call themselves part of the Hade Band. All of them keen enough to turn up and get shouted at.
Rhythm. Dee-degga-dum, dee-degga-dum, dee-dum. Shorter on the quiver glasses. Dum, 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 dum. Once again.
In 40 years, the band room has hardly changed, but the music's dramatically better. Simon Wood's been musical director for 6 years now. He's encouraged, cajoled and bullied them all to the top flight of British brass. Every age from 13 to 60, 30-odd men and women from all backgrounds.
Well, he's sounding better tonight, but bar 18, that sagged a bit horns last night. We didn't keep that.
All of them improving with every
clear
rehearsal.
Semitones, clear jumps. Bam, be-da, da-dum, ba-dee, da-dum. 40, please. 40, and 3, and...
When I first came to the band, musically it was very hard work. You know, we didn't have to worry about the standard of players. If you'd got an instrument, you could join. If you wanted to come to every rehearsal, you could join, and that was it. And that's really what it was like.
Every Tuesday and Thursday evening, the band meets to rehearse. Simon's made a real difference, but joining the band changed things for him too.
Their last conductor had left, and I got a phone call, could you just help out, take a couple of rehearsals for us? The only reason I could do Hade was because the other band I was conducting were Mondays and Wednesdays, and they were completely the opposite, in that they were really well organised, quite efficient, a much older band and a good band. But in contrast to Hade, Hade was just completely slapdash and haphazard, but it was a lot more fun.
2.
Really was a lot of fun, and I think that's what kept me going, because, you know, I've bashed my head against a brick wall many a time, especially in the early days, because it was really hard work.
I remember when he first went to Hade, coming home and saying, oh gosh, you know, such and such are absolutely rubbish, they're no good, and those people now are really good, strong players, they've improved. You know, and they're not musicians, they've never been to college. You know, they just come along, you know, it might have been they were a cornet or something lying around at home and they started playing it and came along to Hade Band, and you know, they've done really well. They've worked extremely hard, and I've got a lot of admiration for a lot of the players at Hade Band, because I have to say, when Simon first went there, I never dreamed they would be making the sounds that they're making now. And they've basically, you know, 50% of the band is the same as it was, you know, when Simon first went and they were struggling.
Wetherby Riverside Bandstand, and for Hade Edge, a Sunday afternoon concert.
Good afternoon, everybody. Now, I don't know if any of you know Home Firth at all. Well, we're Hade Edge Band. If you go out of Home Firth, the beautiful little village, the Hade Edge is just after that.
Brass bands have died out, and there's no doubt about it. If you look, 40 years ago, especially, if you look at the history of brass bands around mills and particularly mines, a lot of bands did die out when a lot of the pits closed. But you look at, you look at bands, and there's still a lot of young people that are playing in brass bands. You look at other musical ensembles and male voice choirs and things like that, and they're full of old people. There's not many new people coming in, but there's something unique about brass bands. I think it's the only musical ensemble where people play it on an amateur basis to a professional level.
The crowds at Wetherby show that people still relish the sound of brass. But ask the top professional players and they'll tell you that these days, smaller bands are lucky to survive.
There's a big problem that we're losing so many brass bands every year in this country. We started this tradition. It spread all over the world, in Europe, Japan, America, in New Zealand, Australia. It's very, very popular because people understand the power of getting people together, making music, and it's such a shame that in this country that we're in decline. We've got 25 brass bands a year who are folding or near to extinction almost, and it's very, very important that people understand that, and bands like Hade Edge and others encourage young people and families to participate to keep this very important heritage and history alive.
We can get audiences over 500. Regularly we get 350.
It's a bit of old England, isn't it, this bandstand in the park? There aren't enough of them.
They come from miles around, literally. We've got people coming up from Normanton area, Sheffield, Barnsley, and they come every week.
Playing for crowds is what we live for, and then there's also this thing, sort of voluntary commitment thing.
Yeah.
It instills discipline into people. And
where would you be if you weren't banding days and stuff?
I mean, if I wasn't here, I'd probably just be sat at home bored.
Yeah.
So it is good fun.
And round here it's been good fun for donkey's years. Creative expression for working men at the end of a dirty day. But when the pit wheels finally stopped and the mills fell silent, the bands marched on.
Here, of course, we have the best bands not in the country, but we have the best bands in the world, no question about it. Nobody can touch us, not even Lancashire.
Banding's a passion that can take over your life, filling every corner of your home and your head.
Time left, and there's the whistle. Albion have won and put a tanner for the Buckley's.
The doctor says to me, he says, well, what do you get out of playing in a brass band, Mr. A? I said, well, when I put the music up to play, I said, I play to the best of my ability. I said, I put everything on one side. I said, I even forget everything. I said, I even forget I'm married.
For Hade Edge, it's no different.
Once you start playing in a band, it just becomes it's practically a way of life. It's a culture. It is hard work, but they come, they do it. I guess they want to be part of it now.
through the summer months we can be out every weekend, and it's church fates, school fates, processions, and that's a nice way of putting a bit of something back. It's nice to put your uniform on and be part of that. When you line up at the top of your own village high street on a Whit Friday or a Whit Sunday and part of a procession, people look at you and people get pleasure out of what you're doing. And that's nice. It's nice to put that back.
Steady! Slow it down, Tom!
The brass band world is like a big family. I think there's an excitement about it. Yes, a lot of pleasure, a lot of hard work, a lot of time, a lot of friendships. I can't imagine life without it, really.
It's like another family that you belong to, but your life revolves around it. Everything revolves around it.
Proud. Just the hard work, the effort that everybody's put in. I think that we've done so well. No, I'm really proud.